The story of Better Display Cases, I guess, starts with my retirement from the military. I served in the Army for 20 years, and I thought I was going to serve longer than that. So at the end of my career, I had given um, options of where I wanted to move to next, where I wanted to PCS to. So I was expecting to hear from personnel back on that, and I did get a call from personnel, but they said the call was not about me moving. It was about you need to retire earlier than I expected. So that was kind of a surprise. The Army was downsizing, and so I had to get out before I expected to. So then I had to figure out, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? For the last few years that I was in the Army, been building websites. I like sports a lot. You can see my Redskin helmet here. Big Tennessee fan too. I had been building sports websites, and so my ultimate idea when I retired was to be a blogger, basically, and make a living sitting at home and writing articles that people read. If the website is popular and you get a lot of traffic, hopefully you get a lot of clicks on your ads and you get advertising revenue and make money that way. So that was the idea, and it actually worked pretty good for a while. So, basically it was a fan site about how great Tennessee football is and Southeastern Conference football is, best conference in America, that kind of thing. And like I say, it did really well for a few years, growing. Then Google changed the rules and made things a lot harder for small independent sites. So traffic went way down, income went way down, and by the time I retired, it was pretty obvious that wasn't going to be the solution. That wasn't going to support my family. So I tried some other things, tried some other sports websites. The fan website didn't work out. So then I was looking at other options outside of the internet. I pretty much concluded that making money on the web was not something that I could make enough at to support my family. So actually I was looking at a lot of other options. In fact, I was looking at becoming a real estate agent, and I was actually getting ready to study to take that exam. And while I was doing that, one day, for some reason, I went to Google and I typed in search NFL fatheads. And I don't know why I really did that. I used to, like I said, I had the sports websites, and I used to rank very high in Google for a lot of fathead terms. So people would, when they were looking for a fathead, they would come to my website, and from there click on a link to fathead, and I would make money that way if they bought the fathead. So I was kind of curious now, who I used to rank very high, right at the top. Now I don't anymore, and didn't at that time. I was curious who did. So whatever. I searched that search term, and up popped an eBay page right at the top of the search results, which kind of surprised me. So I clicked on the page to see what was going on. Now, normally I would have thought, well, whatever, it's just 1 in a million chance, or maybe this guy has connections, maybe he spent a lot of money on advertising. It's not something that I could be successful at. But on this occasion, the owner of this eBay page happened to be somebody I knew. He was a former partner of mine in one of my sports websites, and so I was like, if he can do it, so can I. So right then, I picked up the phone, called Fathead, and said, hey, I want to be a distributor, sell your Fatheads wholesale, sign me up. I'll give it a try. So I did, and they did great. They sold very well. That was Christmas 2013, and that was pretty exciting because I hadn't, for years anyway, made very much money selling stuff on the web. So I was surprised, and it was a lot of fun, very, very exciting. And so I put away the real estate thing. Who knows if that ever would have worked out or not? Maybe it would have. But now I was back on to trying to make money on the web and selling sports products. I expanded from, first I was on eBay, then I started selling on Amazon. I started selling football helmets on both places, and all of that did well. Then one day I got a call. This is another out of the blue kind of thing. eBay called me and said, this was 2 or 3 months, I guess, after I'd been selling the fatheads and the football helmets. They said, hey, we see you sell a lot of sports related products. Do you have any display cases? We have a lot of demand for them, and not that many people selling them, so there's a real need for them. I didn't really even know what they were talking about. I was like, what do you mean? What kind of display cases? What are you talking about? So they told me about it, and I said, well, no, I don't have any of those, but I'll look into it, see what I can do. So just like with fatheads and football helmets, I tried to find a source where I could buy them from and resell them, but that didn't work out very well. I didn't really like the cases that I was finding, and financially, just by the time I bought them and resold them, I wasn't making any money. So But I didn't give up on that. I said, this is a good product. I can tell there's a need for it. I researched more and figured out sort of how to design display cases. I got ideas about how I thought I could make them better than what was already on the market, and how I could manufacture them myself and sell them direct to the consumer, cut out all the middlemen and be profitable that way. So I started doing that. I started with just basic display cases, like the football helmet display case, mini football helmet, football, basketball, you name it, and they sold pretty well. We just grew from there. Basically, the idea at first, anyway, was to make a product that was a little bit better than the competition in some way or another, or different at least, and in my opinion, better, and also a little bit more inexpensive, at least compared, of a quality. You can get a lot of display cases out there that are cheap, but if you want a quality, so comparing to quality display cases, the idea was and still is to make ours a little bit more inexpensive, again, because we don't have the middlemen. So I won't go through it all here, but if you go to our website, there's a whole page that talks about, I think it lists like 20 different ways that, we think are better about our display cases. So you can check that out.